All right, boys. So I was told that for this new, I'm not even going to try and pronounce the name of this event, but whatever this is on the JP version of the game, let's just call it the Doggo event, right? Let's just call it that. I was told that because Lobo and Izo are on rate up, they are both receiving an upgrade of sorts, and I'm actually really excited to check out what these upgrades could be. I have not peeped what the upgrades are yet, but honestly, just thinking about it right now, Lobo could literally use anything, right? Lobo is one of those servants that is like, I don't know, just he has stuff that he can do, but he's just not very good, right? And one of the main problems I think for Lobo is that like he's a single target quick Avenger. And I don't know if you guys know this, maybe you're just not aware, right? But there is a single target quick Avenger that is basically just big Uchi Wakamaru, and she absolutely dominates that slot, right? Like there's absolutely no hope for Lobo to ever be the single target quick Avenger unless like you got him NP5 and you just don't have big Uchi, right? Now Izo, I'm kind of excited to see what they give him, because Izo's basically like your just generic, very good servant, right? Like, does he do really anything super special? Not really. But is he good? Yes, right? Like, he's absolutely very, very good. He's just one of those, like, very basic, but very, very, very good servants, right? In my opinion. So, I think it's over, like, what? It's like an event info and, like, game updates. Okay, so let's oh no, it's gonna be this one right here. I don't want to spoil it too much for myself here. I'm also a little bit tired. I currently just finished a D&D campaign with the boys, and it is like 4 in the morning. But you know, let's go ahead and check out what is going on here. So he is getting a buff to his attack skill that is going to give him 30% attack for 3 turns. I believe that in and of itself is a buff, because I think what you had like a 2-turn buff. Yes, you had monster strength. So this is getting buffed from 30% attack for 2 turns to 30% for 2 turns. This in and of itself is already very, very strong, because as you guys know, I have been absolutely trying to preach that the JP version of the game and the way that content is going is they're moving away from like these 1-turn burst servants, and they want the servants to be good for many turns, right? Like optimally you want a servant that can be like at their best for 3 consecutive turns, if not longer, right? Like there's some servants like Shiro Muramasa or Melusine that can actually like say loop their NP for like 4, 5, 6 turns plus, right? Given the right setups that are just absolutely amazing right now. And so buffing this from 2 to 3 turns actually greatly helps out how Lobo is going to be perceived in the current meta. It allows him to be just that much better for an extra turn, which is very crucial right now. And then he gets a 30% attack buff against man attribute. Now, let's people what this includes. Now, keep in mind, he is an Avenger, so you can basically bring him against most of these fights. Sans like BB or something, right? Because obviously moon cancers have a special type advantage against Avengers, right? But pretty much everyone else here you can bring him up against for free. That's not bad. And then all of these enemies, now typically not a lot of these enemies are bosses, right? Like these are typically like, at least these guys right here. Like, I mean, obviously you have like the trees and like and then the giant ghost, right? And then and then the giant Columbus, bro. But like aside from like these guys down here, these guys typically aren't bosses. But I mean, if you run into any of these, you know, maybe you get the this actually you might encounter, because oh, what is his name? The 4-star rider. His name is escaping me right now, but you guys know who I'm talking about from Guda Guda 3. In his event, he might get one of those reruns with the gold prisms, right? Because he's actually a free-to-play servant, and this thing is actually a boss in that event. So this might actually come up. This one may also come up as well, because the Kagetora free-to-play servant. This guy is like one of the bosses in that event as well. And then obviously, dude, it's the tree. Like, if you haven't beat the tree yet, he's gonna be a bit better for that. So while I'm not expecting a whole lot of people to be like, oh, sick, like Hessian Lobo got a buff, this is good for him. Like, this does actually hit like relevant people, especially if you're more of like a newer player. But this is also like not a bad list of people to hit. I mean, I'm even seeing like this Moriarty ruler right here. He is an Avenger. He does have type advantage against rulers. If you're struggling in Trom, which is like the newest story event to drop over on JP, he will take care of this guy. He will clean him up. If you don't have Jalter and you're like just struggling with Chi Shi Huang over here, Hessian Lobo will clean this guy up, right? Like, there are relevant things for him to do. So this is actually not a bad buff, and keep in mind, these are different buff types, so they're actually multiplying into each other. So this is actually going to be giving him a lot of damage against those people. So overall, pretty good buff. Because I had to think for a second. I was like, is it what I would have given him exactly? Probably not, but this is a good buff for him. So that just leaves Yugioh over here. Now, okay, Yugioh got his NP upgraded. Let's just go to Summoning Campaign and look at Yugioh and compare his new and old NP. So his old NP was just big damage, star buff. And it was a pretty big star buff as well. Now, that's... okay. That is like equally insane, but for different reasons. Because while Lobo over here is like 30%, it's like a respectable buff. This is like, you bring this guy neutral and he's gonna absolutely decimate these people. Like, you could bring him to fight Nero, for instance, and because this is a 150% special damage mod, it doesn't matter that he's type neutral, he's gonna eviscerate them. And then, God forbid you fight anyone from George here all the way down to the new Doggo servant, he's gonna utterly obliterate them. Are there any Zerks in here? Oh my goodness, yeah, all of these Zerks, all of them, they just get obliterated by this guy now. Oh my goodness. If you're struggling with a future Jalter fight, a future BB fight, Okita Alter, any of these weird extra class servants, besides the rulers obviously, because they take less damage, so you could still bring Yugioh because of his massive special damage mod, but it's not nearly as effective because rulers are just so tanky in general. But you can still bring him, don't, get that wrong. But yeah, if you're struggling with any of these weird extra class people, because maybe you don't have like a ruler to bring down BB, or you don't have like a Moon Cancer to bring down like a Jalter or something, right? He's gonna put in a lot of work. This guy's definitely going to go pretty hard, because keep in mind, not only is his NP being buffed, because if you don't know, when an NP is buffed, it goes from its regular scaling to a higher level of scaling, but he's also getting this insane... Wait, did this also get buffed? Okay, no, okay, that's the same. I was about to say, I was like, did they buff the star gen? Because keep in mind, Yugioh's already a little sick nasty right there. As you guys can see, pretty good arts card, or not arts cards, but quick cards with a good star gen. This guy's really good. I'm even more jelly now that I don't have him on NA. If you guys don't know the story, I tried 2 years in a row to get Yugioh, didn't get a single copy, but somehow over the course of 2 years, I've walked out with an NP2 Okita Alter. If you have an NP5 Yugioh, I'll trade. You can give me your NP5 Yugioh and I'll give you the NP2 Okita Alter. This is the guy that I wanted, bro. I wanted this guy, not the Okita Alter. Didn't get a single copy, but this guy is looking pretty dang good now. Like, he is definitely like one of those clutch options you could bring for some challenge quests. So, yeah, this might be like a low-key really good buff. I know this event isn't like super popular with people. Like, people aren't like this servant, it doesn't seem like a whole lot of people care about them, which is okay. I mean, obviously the big meme is that I literally misread that this was deal damage to all enemies instead of one enemy, okay? Like, okay, I understand, I own up to it, right? Like, I literally misread it, right? But I was coping really hard because I really wanted, like, a really, really strong, basically, Arts Kentucky writer, right? And so, I literally just cut that part out right there, and I was just like, deal damage to enemies, you know, coped. And I was like, yeah, this is, we're getting our single target Arts writer. But aside from that meme, like, and people not really caring about this, Yugioh and Lobo are looking a lot stronger after this. They're looking pretty good. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. As always, make sure you leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel for daily FGO content. I know I'm still actually feeling a little sick. I know I made that post and said that I was feeling a lot better, but I woke up today and I was feeling like absolute death. So, I don't know. Copium, maybe that's the reason that I misread the AoE NP as being a single target. I don't know. I woke up this morning and was just feeling like absolute garbage, but yeah, I'm actually really, really sorry about that. But yeah, daily FGO content, even if I'm sick, I'll still get it out there. I still think the video was fine for the most part because everything else was fine, but I'm like, you know, the AoE thing, it's just very embarrassing. I'm very sorry about that, but I stream every weekday over my Twitch. I did miss yesterday's stream, Tuesday for this week, and that is because I was just feeling absolutely sick, and I just could not. I didn't think I'd be able to actually stream without just falling apart in stream due to how sick I was feeling. But I usually stream every weekday, so if you want to do that, that is in the description down below. And with all that being said, I think I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. You guys have yourselves a nice day. Again, sorry about the mistakes in the last video, but yeah, we'll try to do better going forward in the future. But yeah, with all that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. You guys have yourselves a nice day. Peace. Late, guys.